wanted to go to unfinished business, and I think one of the things I probably asked you, Keith, while you're still here, is in the past I could always tell when Melvin was singing, and then when Kevon joins in, and even yourself. But listening to a lot of the tracks, I could barely tell the difference between Kevon and Danny performing vocally. Um, so they were, sometimes you could tell the difference, but this time the voices were somewhat similar. Was there any thought about, we needed something more a very distinct, similar to Melvin's voice, or when you heard him sing, did you not think, well, it's a little bit similar to Kevon, but he has the energy? What was the thinking?
Well, I think primarily that became a point of order. Damon Thomas was the producer, um, and there were times when we first started that there was some similarities in the tone of Kevon's voice and Danny's voice.
Mm,
But I think that over the period of the course of recording the record, between Philly, the voice, who had wrote most of the lyrical content, um, they were able to develop an area where there was still some yin and some yang associated with what Kevon's tender sweet voice was, and then at the same time taking the sweet part of uh, Danny's voice and getting him to just relax and to, because Danny is used to singing uh, more of a rougher edge to his voice. He has so much, there's a lot of voice there. And
mm,
so he had to be kind of harnessed into pulling some back. But between Philly and Damon, they were able to give him a place. And that's what great producers do.
mm,
They bring you in and help you develop your presence on the record in a way that is not going to hurt the record, but at the same time, the brand of After Seven was Melvin and Kevon, Melvin and Kevon, and Danny had to come in and come into a situation where he had, bricks on his shoulders, trying to fit in to make that yin and yang thing work. It took a little bit of time, maybe a week or two, and then Danny started getting used to it. And I think we found the happy medium of the difference between their voices. But you are correct in what you probably heard was some similarities
mm.
in some tonations there. But I think Philly and Damon were able to bring that contrast and that edge between their two voices, and it's worked, and it's proven with the success of Unfinished Business.
I mean, what I did like about the album was the fact that you had Damon Thomas do about, he did 8 songs, Babyface did one, and then you had Stokely do two, and I think Jay Crash do Bittersweet. But having one sort of overall arching producer kept the sounds, gave it a real nice balanced sound, and then having Stokely adding 1 or 2 tracks in there was a nice fix. I'm going to name my top 5 songs on the album.
Oh,
Um, No Place Like You, Tomorrow Can Wait, The Day, because it reminded me of Mid Condition, and Bittersweet. And Bittersweet keeps growing on me each day. But I think my favorite was No Place Like You. It's just I just love those types of tender sort of, Babyface writes these kind of lyrics
yeah.
that just go go to place. But then it's strange that Tomorrow Can Wait was produced by Face, but it wasn't written by him, and it seemed like a very strange thing that he did. But yeah, so talk about the album, because as I said, I've listened to it probably 3 or 4 times, all of the songs, completely, and been able to pick my favorite from them. But talk about how you guys, signed to Sono Records, and how that's, they gave you, the chance to record this album.
First off, when Danny came, I'm going to say, when Danny came into the studio, he was singing every note that was known to man. Yes, Yes, he was. Um, you know, I don't know that he meant to, but that's where he was when we got started. So
And
we
you
had
only
to
get
reel
one
him.
shot.
So we had to reel him in a little bit, but also to the point about the difference in textures and intonation. My brother Melvin, there's not another voice that I know that is his voice.
Mm.
To think that we were going to find that voice was, you know, God blesses everybody with whatever gift or tool that he gives you. And that was Melvin's gift or tool. And I don't think that we'll find anybody, we were ever going to find anyone that could replicate that, you know, because to try to do that is to not let your own gift shine, as if you're trying to imitate somebody else's gift. So I think Danny has brought his style and flavor to the group in a way that still allows us to again be authentic in who we are. You know, so that was important. I knew that we would not have a Melvin. I know, to his point, I know he studied Melvin. I hear every now and then some licks that he'll do that I know are trademark Melvin Edmonds.
Yeah.
But it just tells me that he's studying. It tells me that he's studying. But Danny has his own tone. He has his own style, and he's got a solid voice. He's got a nice range of color in his voice. So that has all been a good good contribution to the group after 7. With regards to the overall album, I think it's always important to try to find a producer or producers that are going to bring continuity to keep the body of the record intact, so that you're not, you know, willy-nilly all over the place, and you can't really kind of get a vibe on what the record, you know, what the record is saying, or what we're trying to speak to, or what our expression is. Crazy as it was, we recorded this album in the shortest period of time we've ever recorded an album ever in our careers, and we did that less than 40 days. We recorded this record, so that was a feat for us, and we didn't see that coming. But we also had to we had to learn some other techniques that we weren't accustomed to, you know, to get it done, because, you know, we were under the gun, so to speak.
During the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. We had a choice to maybe do some virtual concerts and all that kind of stuff, or record a record. Which would you do? So we did what became our final product, Unfinished Business. I think that we're pleased. We're proud of what we did with this record. We're signed with Sono. They got major distribution through Universal, you know, and Universal Music Group, and that was a definite plus. I think that they're pleased with the record, what we've done. It's been out for a year now, everybody has a thing. They're high on streaming, and that's where music is headed because of new platforms. But, you know, it's also we've had an opportunity to afford the ability to go to radio, which is our home. This is where we're from. And streaming, if we can get some streaming numbers, we're all A-okay with that. But I know where our home is, and I know where people will look to find us, and I know that promoters will look to find us at radio, and that is also part of what keeps our bread and butter. Yeah. You know, so it's important to have a presence at radio for us. Again, this is our 3rd single. Tomorrow Can Wait. We're pleased with the progress that it's making right now at this stage right now. So if we're fortunate enough, we'll continue to do what we've been doing since we came back on the scene in 2016, and that is put music out that we believe that matters and represents the kind of music that we love, and we think that is probably, in all honesty, is lacking. The kind of music talks about love and relationships, and just in a positive way. Music that respects women. That's what we're going to bring each time around. So we may not be your cup of tea. Do they say that over there in the UK? No, but anyway, that's us. We're going to stay true to the game. We'd love to cross the pond, come across the pond and perform for you guys over there. If they're fans over there that still have an appreciation and love for After 7, we're not just limiting this to stateside. We go everywhere to those folks who love our music. Interesting story. My brother Babyface was over in Moscow doing a show at a couple clubs he was a few years back, and he told me when they played Ready or Not, they lost it.
Wow.
And I'm saying, what? They knew Ready or Not? He said they went crazy for Ready or Not. I had no idea that back in the day our music had reached Moscow. So there are After 7 fans all around the world. And for those listeners who you reach, let them know, hey, we're still out here doing it. We'd love to come and do what it is that we do, and continue to put great music out is our hope. That's the plan.
Yeah, no, as I said, we hopefully, I mean, we can get the promoters to bring you guys over. But hey everyone, I want to thank you for being part of Halftime Chats. This new update is really about our membership, and I'm really excited to be able to fully launch the membership page. There will be things like full interviews from day one. As soon as the interview drops, you get access to it without any ads on it. There'll be some exclusive member-only videos that will just be some behind-the-scenes stuff and some other things that we will never be broadcast. For some members, you can be able to get actually 2 interviews, because I do have a backlog of almost 7 or 8 interviews that I don't even know when I'm going to be able to broadcast them. So you're able to get at least some of those up front, and some just behind the scenes stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes that I have never been able to talk about or release. For everyone else, the videos will still be the same. Over a week or a week and a half or 2 weeks, depending on how long it is. So everything stays the same. The polls stay the same. The community chats, the community stuff stays the same. But I think with the membership stuff, I'm able to add a little bit more and invest a lot more time and energy in really supporting the members. So I do hope you come on that ride with me. I appreciate the support, and this will just help me continue to invest in taking things to the next level. Take care.